Okay, so the tenant vacated the property on the 8th of August. When we completed the exit inspection, we used the entry inspection report as long as photos that we used during that entry inspection report, so we could use them as reference for the exit report. While using the photos and the report during this exit inspection, we did notice that the kitchen, the main bathroom and the laundry areas were not clean. There was also some minimal wear and tear, which we are aware that will happen. However, there was a little bit of wear and tear in those main areas. There was also rubbish left in the front yard and the backyard and just some overall maintenance in the yard. We did have conversations with the tenants in relation to all of these points. However, when provided the entry report and the photo evidence, as well as the exit report and the exit photo evidence, comparing the before and now, the tenant did disagree and was not cooperating with us in relation to getting all of that remedied. So we did specify that the kitchen, bathroom and laundry areas would need to be cleaned and that the rubbish in the backyard would need to be dispersed of. After all of this, the tenant still wasn't cooperating with getting it all sorted. So we did get some professional quotes done in relation to sorting it out on our landlord's behalf. For the cleaning quote, we got quoted $500 to do the inside areas, as well as $400 to remove the outdoor rubbish. Again, the tenant's not cooperating with that one. We did on forward those quotes, which they are refusing to pay. So we did end up doing a Form 16 dispute resolution form to the Residential Tenancies Authority to request a meeting between the tenant and them, as well as us, just to try and get to a solution on this one. The tenant did say that she did put multiple hours into cleaning the property before it was left, and it was left in a cleanly manner. However, the key was directly with us. So there wasn't a point in time between her leaving and us doing the exit report that there could have been another person going in and making the mess. Which we did also advise the tenant about. Our landlord is requesting for the property to be brought back to as close as possible as the entry report. So cleaning, rubbish, all of that, they are requesting for it to be done. They are aware that wear and tear can happen. However, they would like it to be left in a cleanly manner for that one. For the resolution of this, we are requesting for the invoices / quotes to be paid. And in getting that, obviously the tenant, if they can't agree to pay those, then we are requesting for it to come out of their bond. What evidence can you provide to support your claims? We have the entry inspection report and photos from that report. We also have the exit inspection report as well as photos to show the difference between the two states that it was handed over to them and then the state that we got it back from. Have you provided this evidence to the tenant? We have provided both reports as well as photos, as well as taken them through and showing them what we are pointing out. The tenant states that the property was clean when she vacated. Is it possible that someone entered the property afterwards and messed it up? Unfortunately, no. The reason for this is we picked up the keys as soon as their tenancy ended, which means that we had the keys in our possession between the time she left and us doing the exit inspection report. So there would be no way for someone to be able to go into the property without them. What steps did you try and take to resolve the dispute with the tenant? We did have multiple conversations with them about them tidying the property up and cleaning the property. She did mention that they did do quite a few hours of cleaning. However, it just wasn't up to the standard that the landlord is requesting, especially with the standard that it was provided to them in. So we have also received some quotes in order to, we have received quotes in order to do the cleaning of the indoors, main area, bathroom and laundry, and then we also have received a quote for the rubbish to be removed outside. So the quote for the cleaning was $400 and $500, and the rubbish to be removed was $400. So we have also told them about those, and we have requested that they pay those quotes. However, again, they are not wanting to do that. Do we have any questions you wish to ask the tenant? No, I believe I have spoken to them quite a few times, and they are very aware of what we were wanting, which is just for the property to be left in the same standard it was received. So yeah, what outcome is the landlord after? So the desired outcome for the property, I suppose, would just be to receive it in the way that was provided to the tenant. Cleanliness and the rubbish removed. The desired outcome would be that the tenant goes back and cleans the property themselves up to the standard which we're requesting, as well as to remove the rubbish themselves from the outdoor area. Alternatively, they can either pay the quotes or we can take the money from the bond to get it all done. How do you feel about the outcome proposed by the tenant? A little bit disappointed, just because we have had multiple conversations in regards to how we'd like the property to be left. And understandably, some people do clean their houses. However, if it is a standard that we want to uphold, there is cleaning services where they could get bond cleans done. So I understand that the client has tried to clean the property themselves. However, there is outsourcing that they could have done to just make the solution a little bit better with this outcome. And then how would you like this dispute to be resolved? By having the property cleaned and the rubbish removed.